Are you sick and tired of using your age as an excuse to explain why your golf game has gone down the toilet? Well, we have top 5 exercises for golfers over the age of 50 in an easy follow-along workout today. All you're going to need is a foam roller to get started. If you don't have a foam roller, go ahead and use a rolled up towel or a pillow. We can get started. What's up, golfers? My name is Josh. I'm the Director of Coaching here at P4S Golf, where we've helped over 12,000 golfers achieve longevity, increase their speed, and decrease pain. So we're going to get started with that follow-along workout, top 5 exercises for golfers over the age of 50. Let's get down on the ground to start. So you're going to need that foam roller to get started. We're going to do exercise number 1. This is called a book opener. All right, so very popular exercise to improve your trunk rotation here. Golf is a rotational sport. We need to be able to rotate this trunk. If you can't, you're going to have that armsy, really not powerful swing at all. So this is going to help. Make sure when you're laying on your side, you've got this foam roller underneath your knee, and that knee is at hip height. Really important. That's going to keep your pelvis and lower back stable so we're not rotating from the low back. You're going to take your bottom hand, place it here, and press that into the roller so this stays stable. Think lower half stable. Hand on the forehead. If you want to use a pillow here under your head, that's totally fine. All you're going to do is rotate that chest open. Let the head again relax either on the pillow or on the floor until your body stops. Once you reach the end range, big breath in and exhale. And then we go back to the start. So as you go forward, we're going to inhale. As you go back, exhale, rotate as far as you can without this knee lifting off the roller, okay? Inhale forward. We're doing 8 of these on each side. Open the book. I like putting the hand on the forehead here. You will see a lot of people do this exercise with the hand here. The tendency, though, is to cheat and to just reach your arm. I can touch my hand down to the floor, but I haven't turned my chest and trunk. So put your hand on your forehead. Work at getting your shoulder blade to the floor before your elbow gets to the floor. It's not the hand we're trying to get to the floor, it's your shoulder blade. That's going to tell you that your chest and trunk are turning as you exhale. Come down to the bottom, just a few more on this side. Open up. You should be feeling that you're making a little bit of progress each repetition you do this. Open up. Come back to the front. And one more on this side. Exhaling as you rotate open. So now I'm just going to flip, so you're going to see how close my shoulder gets to the floor, and we'll make progress each time. So again, make sure you're on your side. You can put your head on a pillow. Your knee is at hip height, and we're locking that knee down. It stays against the inside of the roller. If that roller is moving, or if your knee's moving off the roller, you've gone too far, because that means your lower back is rotating if this leg lifts up. Come back to the start. And again, opening up, trying to get your shoulder blade closer to the floor. And this is where you can see if I cheat and I just try and use my hand this way, I can get my hand to the floor, no problem, but I haven't rotated my chest. So that's why we bring the hand here and open up, trying to get that shoulder blade towards the floor. If your shoulder blade gets flat to the floor, that means you're getting a good amount of trunk rotation. And if you can't get your shoulder blade even close to the floor, that's okay. That just means that you've got room to improve, so you need to do this exercise probably every day. You cannot do this exercise too much. Think of it like brushing your teeth, having a shower. You want to do it at least once a day. Twice a day is fine. It's actually probably going to be better to do this twice a day, especially if you're golfing. You need this trunk to be able to rotate. Opening up. Inhale forward. Exhale as you open up and go back. Again, we're doing 8 of these on each side. Hold that end range for a second and breathe into it. Key here, most people will hold their breath when it starts to get tight. That's when you want to breathe through the rep. Big breath in as you come forward. Exhale as you come back. That is our trunk rotation exercise. So that's our book opener. Now we're going to work on our hips. So internal hip rotation is really, really key when we are doing when we're golfing. So we need to have good rotation of the hips which looks like this internal rotation of the hips. So we're going to be in this position. You can be on your hands. If that's uncomfortable for your wrists, you can come back onto your elbows. That's fine. So this is a hip rotation, okay? Seated hip rotation. All we're doing is getting this hip to move in this way without your butt cheek lifting off the floor. So we don't want to see that butt cheek lift. That means, again, I'd be cheating by using my lower back to rotate. Keep the butt cheek on the floor and roll in. Hold that end range again for a second or two. Push it as far as you can and then open up and then repeat. Okay, so I'm keeping my pelvis here pretty stable and I'm just taking that hip socket and I'm rotating it in. Now this is my lead side as a right-handed golfer, my lead hip. This is the important one. We want to really make sure I can internally rotate so that you can post up and shift weight onto your lead side. It's really going to help your power and it's also going to help take stress off your lower back because the more this hip rotates, the less your lower back has to twist and rotate, which it's not really designed to do. That's why so many golfers end up with low back pain. A lack of internal rotation in this lead hip, that's our number one predictor of back pain amongst golfers. That and previous low back pain, but it usually comes from a lack of movement in this hip. Okay, we need it, and try each rep. We're doing, again, 8 of these, trying to get a little bit closer to the floor each time, okay? Inhale as you open up, exhale as you rotate down. Big key here, pro tip, is to take this heel and make sure you're digging it into the floor a little bit because your knee should not be sore here at all. If your knee is sore, make sure you kind of pull that heel into the ground and feel like you're engaging the calf and the hamstring muscle a little bit. That'll stabilize the knee. And again, we should be feeling a stretch deep in this hip here, okay? And then I'm going to open up. So again, you can do it on the elbows or you can do it on the hands leaning back. Either one's fine. But I'm trying to rotate, keeping that butt cheek down on the floor. And you can see that hip socket. My goal is not to turn my foot and knee in. My goal is to take this thigh and roll it in so I'm moving from that hip and feel like your butt cheek stays down. Feel like even if you have to lean back a little bit, that's why sometimes I like to go from the elbows so I can kind of keep this butt cheek down a little bit more. But I'm really trying to get, you can see, I'm just trying to get that extra little bit of range of motion right at the end. So instead of stopping here, I'm going to try and go just a few more degrees and then I feel that stretch in here. Open up. It's really important. Breathe as you get to that end range and stay in that end range for a second or two. As you can see, I'm not just going to come in here and go back out. Not like this. I'm going here and then breathe and go a little further, keeping that butt cheek down on the floor. Inhale, open, and then exhale one more time on this hip internal rotation. That's exercise number 2. So we got our trunk and when we got our hips done. Now we're going to move on to the shoulders, okay? So we're going to stand up for this next exercise. And you'll need some wall space or a door frame is fine. Let's take a quick second to talk about our golf performance assessment. This assessment takes only 5 minutes, and it'll tell you exactly where you need to improve in your golf game. It's 4 quick mobility tests that every golfer needs to pass in order to have a powerful, consistent swing and play pain-free golf. But less than 1% of the 12,000 golfers plus that we've tested pass all 4 of these tests. Not passing them leads to pain, swing faults, loss of distance and speed every single year. So click the link in the description and do our 5-minute assessment to see where you need to improve the most. And for a limited time, you can also get on a call with one of our experts free of charge to go over your results and what they mean for your golf game. Click the link below and try it out. So if you're at the corner of a wall or if you're in a door frame, here's how we're going to do the shoulder external rotation. So from here, I'm standing tall. I'm just going to have my elbow out at the side 90 degrees. This is key. Keep the 90 degrees the entire time. If you glance back at your elbow and you're doing this, you're cheating. Keep it 90 degrees. And I'm going to line my forearm up with the edge of the door frame. My chest is nice and tall. And all I'm going to do is try and I'm turning my palm inwards without flicking, that's so I don't flick the wrist. I'm just trying to move from my shoulder here to roll my arm into this door frame or wall so that my hand and wrist and forearm come off the wall. Hold it for a second or two, and then I come back. We're doing 8 of these on each side again. You should feel it right back here. Again, I'm rolling my bicep backwards. That's external shoulder rotation. This movement is really, really key, especially for the trail shoulder. So for a right-handed golfer, that's your right shoulder. Left-handed golfer, it's your left shoulder. We need this external rotation to shallow the club on the way down. If you struggle with an over-the-top move, you'll probably notice that this movement is not easy for you. And if you're not getting at least 25, 30 degrees here, and if you're stuck here and it's really hard, you're only getting 5, 10 degrees, that's where you're stuck on the downswing and you can't shallow the club. We need that move to be able to do this and shallow the club on the way down. So make sure as well as you do this that we're not arching the back, okay? We're not moving your chest. My chest stays square. My body stays square. I'm not compensating anywhere. I'm only moving from this shoulder socket right here. Again, watch that elbow. We don't want to be doing a bicep curl like this. That forearm moves straight back and then back into the wall one more time. And I feel it right back here when I'm holding that contraction. It might even feel like it's going to cramp up, okay? That's not a bad thing. That's just your muscles probably not used to getting into that end range and having to hold it. Now we switch sides. Again, elbows at around shoulder height. My chest is tall. Palm is facing in. I'm going to try and rotate that arm from the shoulder so that the forearm and wrist come off the wall. Always breathing here. Inhale as you come into the wall. Exhale as I rotate back. Breath in. And now breath out. And I feel that right behind that armpit in the shoulder blade muscle. This is called our infraspinatus. This is one of your main rotator cuff muscles that helps you externally rotate. On my lead side, so for a right-handed golfer, left arm, and vice versa for a left-handed golfer, that lead arm needs to be able to externally rotate for a full finish and follow through. So if you've got that bit of a chicken wing finish in your golf swing, that's why. It's because you're having trouble doing this, which is this motion here. We want to emphasize that external rotation in your lead shoulder as well. 8 times on each side. If you guys are following along with me, really, really important to feel that muscle squeeze back here, okay? Stick with it, okay? These exercises don't take a lot of time. You don't have to do them consecutively. You can do them throughout the day, but if you do them once or twice every day, you're going to see a massive difference in how your body feels and performs on the golf course, okay? Just opening up the ability to rotate is what golfers need. So it doesn't take a lot of time for you to be able to do that. It just takes consistency. Just like I said before, you brush your teeth every single day, probably twice a day if you got good hygiene. It doesn't take a lot. It just has to become your routine. So these exercises, you make them part of your routine and you're going to start playing better and hurting less. Next exercise, we're going to break out a chair for another trunk rotation exercise. This is a twist and tilt, okay? So I'm seated. Again, you can use that foam roller or a pillow or a towel. Squeeze it between the knees. That is going to stabilize your lower half. From here, we're going to place the arms across the chest. Okay, elbows pointing down. I'm squeezing here. I'm sitting nice and tall. I'm going to rotate to my left as far as I can, staying tall. Now, that's the twist. The tilt comes, now I'm going to side bend, so that means I'm bending this way. If I turn to the left, I side bend left, and I'm not crunching down, okay? I'm staying tall through the spine, and I'm leaning or side bending without this butt cheek lifting off. I'm pushing this butt cheek down into the chair, and I feel a stretch through this side. That's the twist and tilt. Now, when I come back up, I'm going to come back up and stay turned, and now I should be able to, just like magic, turn a little more. Okay, breathe in, exhale, side bend left, and then when I come back up, look at this. Boom, I can turn a little more. Breathe in, exhale, side bend. I feel that stretch down the right side, back up to vertical, and I could turn a little more. It's getting a little tight now, but exhale, side bend. You should be able to do about 5 to 7 of these before your trunk stops improving in terms of that rotation. Each time you do that twist and tilt, you should get a little further. Keep squeezing the roller between your knees. Keep both butt cheeks on the chair, and I'm about maxed out there. So I gained a little bit of range each time. You can watch it this way as I go as well. Arms down, breathe in, rotate, And now side bend. And when I come back up to vertical, watch this. Boom, I can turn a little more. Inhale and exhale, side bend. I come back up. Boom, I turn a little more. Exhale, side bend. I come back up, turn a little more. Side bend. I stretch down that left side. I feel that stretch all the way down here. Back up, rotate. Side bend. Got about maybe 1 or 2 more here before my body stops turning. But again, it's essential that we work within that end range and find your end range and spend some time in there breathing where it's tight. Most people, when they get to the end range, they like hold their breath and tighten up. You're not going to be able to rotate more if you hold your breath. So I get to here where my body stops. Big breath in. Then I can turn a little bit more. So that is your twist and tilt. You're going to do 5 to 7 of those on each side. Last exercise. This ties it all together. We come back up to standing. We're going to use this chair. This is our pattern assist hip rotations. Okay. From here, we're going to do about 8 to 10 of these each side. This is going to get you in your golf posture. We've got some stability here with the chair. And all I'm going to do is rotate one direction. So that would be me going into my backswing as a right-handed golfer. This hip rotates back. Okay. I'm not going side to side like this. I'm going this way and I'm rotating, keeping my upper body stable. And then I'm going to rotate through this way. Then my knees will bend a little bit here. The main thing is that your elbows and your upper body do not move. Keep this really still. Push into the chair and feel. Start with a small movement in that pelvis and feel a little bit of rotation there without your upper body rotating. Again, 8 to 10 times. Opening to the left, opening to the right. And you might feel a little stretch down your sides here. But again, we're really trying to get the lower half disassociating or separating from the upper half. Okay, we need to be able to rotate that lower body, especially in the downswing. You want to be able to start the downswing with the hips opening up. Keeping that upper body stable is really key. Keeping the head steady so there's not, show you here, there's not going to be a lot of side to side movement. I'm staying here and my hips rotate just like that. And I'm not going side to side this way. Okay. I stay within my hips. This one moves back. This one moves forward a little bit. And then we reverse it. This hip moves back and this one moves forward. Okay. Staying nice and steady. As you do that, start with small motions and then gradually increase that range of motion. Okay. So that's really going to help you start to feel that separation between your upper body and your lower body so you can start the downswing with the lower half. So those exercises, those 5 are going to be, again, those are our top 5 mobility exercises for golfers over the age of 50. If you do those every day, just like brushing your teeth, you will start to feel better. You'll start to swing better. Hope you guys found this workout helpful. You can replay it, enjoy it. Do the workout every day to see those results. Drop a like, give us a comment. We'd love to see you subscribe to our channel. That helps us out a lot. I will see you guys next time.